What if I told you the first aircraft to smash through 1,000 kilometers per hour was not a jet, but a rocket? A tiny, bat-shaped aircraft, so volatile its own fuel could dissolve its pilot. This is the story of the Messerschmitt Me 163 Komet, the only rocket-powered fighter ever, mass-produced and deployed in combat. On the deep dive, we don't just skim the surface. Today, we're going inside this revolutionary and perilous machine to understand the genius and the desperation behind its design. Stick with us. The Me 163B1A, the primary operational version from 1944, was a study in minimalism. At just over 19 feet long, it was shockingly small, about half the length of a standard school bus. Its compact, aerodynamic shape was built primarily from duralumin, with steel used in critical areas like the tail. This was a semi-monocoque design, where the skin itself bore much of the structural load, saving vital weight. Every component was modular, bolted to bulkheads for easy assembly, maintenance, and transport. In fact, its wings could be removed to fit on a standard German railroad car. The wings were its aerodynamic secret, swept back at 25 degrees. This design, optimal for high subsonic speeds, also made the Komet a remarkably stable glider. But with the rocket exhaust too hot for conventional tail controls, engineers had to innovate. They used elevons on the wing's combined surfaces that handled both roll and pitch. The vertical fin's rudder handled yaw. And what was this rocket plane built to do? Destroy bombers. Nestled in the wing roots were two Rheinmetall Mk108 30mm cannons, with a distinctive thump-thump-thump sound. Allied airmen called it the pneumatic hammer. Its high explosive shells were devastating. Where a typical fighter might need 20 hits to down a B-17, the Komet's cannons could do it with just 3 or 4. But with only 60 rounds per gun, a pilot had less than 6 seconds of total firing time. Here lies the Komet's defining feature and its greatest danger. The Walter HWK-509A1 rocket engine was a mechanical marvel of complexity. Starting it was a multi-step ballet. A steam turbine spun up fuel pumps. The combustion chamber was purged, and then it used hypergolic fuels. T-Stoff, a concentrated hydrogen peroxide oxidizer, and C-Stoff, a methanol hydrazine fuel. These chemicals ignited on contact, no spark needed. This also meant they were horrifically corrosive and explosive. T-Stoff could dissolve human tissue. Pilots wore special protective suits, but leaks and accidents on the ground were often fatal. At full throttle, the engine gulped fuel, producing over 3,500 pounds of thrust. But the burn time, a mere 7.5 minutes. This wasn't an aircraft for patrols. It was a sprint interceptor. Climb into the cramped, unpressurized cockpit. The pilot, trained in altitude chambers and on special diets, faced immense G-forces. After a towed takeoff on a jettisonable dolly, the sharp start began. The Komet would roar down the runway, lift off, jettison its gear, and then pitch up into a 70-degree climb. It could reach 39,000 feet in under 4 minutes, a climb rate unmatched by any other World War II aircraft. Once at altitude, the pilot had minutes to find the bomber stream, make 1 or 2 high-speed passes at nearly 560 miles per hour, fire a snapshot with his cannons, and break away. The return was the most vulnerable phase. Out of fuel, the Komet was a silent, gliding target. Landing was brutal, on a simple sprung skid, with a high risk of crashing. So, was the Me 163 Komet a success? By the numbers, no. It claimed around 9 confirmed kills against significant losses, many from accidents rather than combat. It was a weapon of technological shock, born of desperation, but as an engineering achievement, it was breathtaking. It pushed the boundaries of aerodynamics, propulsion, and materials science. It proved rocket-powered flight was possible in combat, a concept that would influence future aviation. The Komet was a brilliant, flawed, and deadly leap into the future. What's your take? Was it a revolutionary marvel, or a dangerous dead end? Let's discuss in the comments. If you found this deep dive into aviation history fascinating, you might want to check out our analysis of another German wonder weapon, the so-called first stealth plane, the Hortenho 229 Flying Wing. The link is on screen now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more detailed explorations of history's most incredible machines.